Hello Moto GP enthusiasts. Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Marc Márquez offered a candid and self-critical assessment after a bruising weekend at Silverstone, acknowledging that the British Grand Prix was a reality check in his 2026 title campaign. The 9-time world champion admitted that 7th place was the most realistic outcome given the circumstances, but stressed that the next run of circuits will demand aggression if he is to claw back ground in the standings. His reflections combined frustration with pragmatism, a recognition of his own shortcomings, Ducati's limitations at flowing tracks, and the need to seize opportunities at venues that suit his style. Jorge Martín reflected on his Silverstone form and the wider title fight, framing his championship lead as the result of steady work and resilience rather than a signal he's the outright favorite. He praised his team, acknowledged the strength of rivals like Marc Márquez, and stressed a present-focused, process-driven approach as the best way to stay competitive through the season's second half. Francesco Bagnaia endured his worst MotoGP weekend of 2026 at Silverstone, a sequence of tire, grip and setup problems that left the factory Ducati rider off the points and searching for answers after a rare front-end crash. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Silverstone was always going to be a challenge for Marquez, and the weekend confirmed it. After struggling with rear tire degradation in the sprint and fading in the Grand Prix, he finished 7th, losing 22 points and slipping 40 behind Jorge Martín. He admitted that Aprilia's package was simply stronger at Silverstone, while KTM and even his Ducati teammates outpaced him. For Marquez, the weekend was not catastrophic but a reminder of how quickly momentum can shift in MotoGP. Marquez was blunt in his self-criticism, refusing to blame the bike or team. He admitted that endurance remains his biggest limitation, even after shoulder surgery and a summer dedicated to recovery. While his one-lap speed has returned, sustaining that pace over 20 laps is still beyond reach. He stressed that consistency, not flashes of brilliance, will decide the championship. Now there are 3 to 4 circuits coming up where, if we want to achieve anything, we have to attack. Marquez's honesty reflects a shift in mindset. He knows that his rivals, Martín, Bezzecchi, Ogura, have been more consistent, and that his own campaign has relied too heavily on opportunistic wins rather than sustained performance. Tire behavior was central to Ducati's struggles at Silverstone. Marquez explained that while the tires performed adequately, he was unable to extract their full potential. Aprilia managed degradation far better, while Ducati's setup left riders vulnerable in the final laps. He emphasized that Ducati must find compromises at circuits that don't naturally suit the Desmosedici, rather than waiting for favorable tracks. Marquez rejected the narrative that he is the favorite for the 2026 title. He pointed to Jorge Martín's consistency as the defining factor in the standings and acknowledged that 3 riders have been stronger across the season. He insisted that the championship is open, but that he is currently not the frontrunner. No matter how much you all say I'm the favorite, I'm not the favorite in this world championship. This is a rare admission from Marquez, who has often thrived under pressure. His comments reflect both humility and realism. He knows that chasing a 10th title will require more than reputation. It will require sustained execution. Marquez's plan is clear. Attack at circuits that suit him, such as Aragon, while limiting damage elsewhere. He emphasized that waiting for home circuits is not enough. A champion must perform everywhere. His focus now is on stabilizing tire behavior, improving endurance, and converting one-lap speed into race distance pace. He promised aggression at upcoming tracks, but tempered it with pragmatism, measured risk rather than reckless desperation. Marc Márquez left Silverstone frustrated but composed. He accepts the deficit, understands the problems, and has a clear plan for recovery. The next run of circuits, Aragon, Misano, and others, will be decisive. If Ducati and Marquez can stabilize tire life and endurance, his comeback remains possible. If not, the championship will increasingly reward Jorge Martín and the riders who have already found the balance between speed and consistency. For Marquez, the motto is simple: attack where strong, survive where weak, and improve everywhere. Martín described his return from a difficult 2025 as a personal triumph, emphasizing physical recovery and mental growth. He credits disciplined preparation, team support, and a calmer outlook for his current form, saying he now lives more in the present while retaining his competitive edge. "I'm very satisfied. Even more than first place, I'm happy to be in good physical shape." The psychological reset after injury has translated into consistency and a more measured race approach. Despite holding a 40-point lead over Marc Márquez, Martín refused to claim favorite status. He acknowledged Márquez's record and the power of his bike, framing the real victory as being able to fight with a rider of Márquez's caliber rather than obsessing over standings. "It's obvious they're giving Márquez the edge. He's a 9-time world champion. Achieving that is already a victory for me." Martín's humility underlines a pragmatic strategy: control preparation and let results follow. Martín praised the depth within Aprilia, singling out Marco Bezzecchi and AI Ogura as surprising and valuable benchmarks. He values data exchange with teammates and sees inter-team strength as a positive that helps refine the package across circuits. Internal competition can sharpen performance while providing setup insights that benefit the whole squad. Martín noted that certain tracks favor different bike DNA, with Aprilia excelling on flowing layouts like Silverstone. He expects the order to shift at circuits that suit Ducati or other manufacturers, and he welcomes the variety as part of a long championship battle. Martín's ability to perform on diverse tracks will be tested in the coming rounds. Martín emphasized process over position. Training, nutrition, and preparation are controllable inputs that he prioritizes. He avoids dwelling on future decisions or external narratives, preferring to concentrate energy on being the best version of himself each weekend. "What I can control is how I train, how I eat, how I prepare." That disciplined, present-focused mindset reduces pressure and preserves energy for decisive moments. Jorge Martín's Silverstone weekend reinforced his status as a resilient, process-driven championship leader who refuses to be defined by points alone. He recognizes Marc Márquez and other rivals as formidable, accepts the ebb and flow of circuit advantages, and plans to keep improving rather than celebrating the standings. The next rounds will test whether Martín's consistency and team synergy can withstand targeted attacks from experienced rivals, and whether his present-focused approach converts into a sustained title defense. Bagnaia struggled from the first practice session through to the race. He failed to reach Q2, suffered heavy tire graining in the sprint, started the sprint from 16th and finished 17th, then crashed out of the Grand Prix at Luffield on lap 8. The result marked his first 0-point weekend of the season and a sharp reversal from the momentum he had built before the break. Persistent lack of rear grip has been Bagnaia's recurring issue all season. Two main technical symptoms dominated the weekend: severe rear-end grip loss and tire graining that destroyed race pace, followed by an inexplicable front-end tuck at Luffield. Bagnaia reported losing the front in a matter of milliseconds, and data has so far failed to reveal a clear mechanical trigger. "From the first race of the season, I don't have any grip. Completely zero." Bagnaia and the factory engineers tried multiple setup and electronics changes across sessions, but none restored the rear grip he needs. The sprint showed the bike's pace collapse into the low 2 minutes and 2 seconds due to graining, and by the race Bagnaia was unable to maintain consistent corner exits or confidence on the right side. Despite extensive adjustments, the underlying mismatch between his GP26 and the conditions persisted. When setup changes fail to cure a rider-specific deficit, the issue can be tire carcass interaction, chassis compliance, or a subtle ergonomics/weight transfer mismatch. Gresini's Alex Marquez has found a workable solution to similar grip problems on his bike: highlighting that the issue may be chassis or setup specific to the factory GP26 or to Bagnaia's riding style. That divergence raises questions about whether the factory package needs a different directional change rather than incremental tweaks. Same manufacturer, different outcomes, suggests targeted engineering or rider style adaptation is required. Bagnaia was candid and frustrated. He expected to target the top 10 but instead could barely hold pace. He described the crash as strange and stressed the urgency of finding a fix. His priority is to regain confidence and avoid repeating a weekend like Silverstone. We need to rise from this situation, because I don't want to do another weekend like this one. Ducati faces a two-track task: diagnose the root cause of Bagnaia's persistent rear grip deficit and deliver a package that suits his style without compromising other riders. Short-term, focused test work on rear tire behavior, chassis compliance, and electronic traction mapping is essential. Medium-term, the factory must decide whether a directional chassis change or a rider-specific setup philosophy will close the gap. If solved, Bagnaia can return to podium contention. If not, his season will remain hampered by inconsistent results. Silverstone exposed a deep-seated performance mismatch. Fix the physics, restore the confidence, and the results should follow. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your Moto GP news update. And see you next time!